What's up guys, it's Josh back with another video and welcome back to the channel. And today I wanted to dive into the exciting release of Manjaro 23, also known as Vulcan. Now this latest version promises a range of updates and enhancements that we'll explore together. So let's get started and see what Manjaro 23.1 has in store for us. Alright, so I'm at manjaro.org, and if this is your first time checking out this Linux distro, it is a Arch-based Linux distro. It says Manjaro is a versatile, free, and open source Linux operating system designed with a strong focus on safeguarding user privacy and offering extensive control over hardware. This user-friendly OS is an exciting choice for those who seek a fresh computing experience, as it can be seamlessly installed on a diverse array of devices, with support for both x86-64 as well as the ARM architecture. Manjaro stands as an ideal option for any device or a computing environment, and furthermore, Manjaro provides an array of customization options and a rich selection of applications, while prioritizing security and privacy features to cater to a wide audience. Before we move forward, I wanted to give a quick shout out to CIQ, the official partner of Rocky Linux. Rocky Linux is a Linux distribution that is intended to be a downstream complete binary compatible release using the Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system source code. The project is led by Gregory Kurtzer, who was the founder of the CentOS project. So check out Rocky Linux at ciq.co. And so there was a recent release of Manjaro, and this release marks a significant update in the Manjaro series, and it offering not just a fresh kernel but also updated desktop environments. And that's one of the dopest parts about this release. It came with all those updated desktop environments like GNOME 45, KDE Plasma 5.27 LTS, which is that long-term supported release, and also my favorite, XFCE 4.18. And Manjaro continues its tradition of providing a smooth and visually appealing experience. And this is why I always recommend Manjaro to anyone that wants to try out Arch for the first time. Check out Manjaro. This is one of those good distros that you may want to look into. And as always, like I stated earlier, Manjaro is based on Arch Linux and maintains its rolling release model. So now that we got that out the way, let me go down and show you guys how to download it, and then we can go through the install together, and that way you guys can see how everything is set up. Now if you go here to the downloads page up here at the top, the first thing it will ask you to do is choose your architecture. I'm gonna create a virtual machine, but they do have that ARM version, and it's good for phones, tablets, and laptops, as well as embedded devices, Raspberry Pis, you know, all the good stuff that ARM was built for. So let's go down and click there, x86-64, and you guys know I love the XFCE desktop environment, but you do have a whole bunch of options. The major releases of Manjaro are for either Plasma, XFCE, or GNOME, and then there's some community editions, which comes with the Budgie desktop environment, Cinnamon, i3, Mate, Manjaro, Docker, as well as Sets Window Manager. So you can check those out if you want to. Like I said, I'm gonna play around with XFCE, so if you guys want to download it, all you have to do is click here. They do have two options. So they have a full, which comes with pretty much all the applications you would need to get up and running from jump, or you can get the minimal version, which is a scaled down operating system, which doesn't come with much software, and it's a good base for people that want to set up the system the way they want to. And then you got a couple different options to download it. You can get the torrent file, download it that way, or you can download the image directly from the site. And they also have the SHA-256 checks, as well as the signatures, just to verify that you're getting it from the correct location and there isn't any man-in-the-middle attack. So let's go down and hop over to my virtual machine, and I can walk you guys through the install. Let's get started. All right, so we booted up into our Manjaro live ISO, And first thing that'll pop up is a welcome to Manjaro 23.1 Vulcan. And there's a lot of information right on the stored up page. You can get to the documentation, release information, the wiki, support, the installation. It'll basically launch it for you directly from here, or you can click the script right here, install Manjaro. And then also links to the project, so get involved, development, donate. You can turn this off, which this is the live audio, so it doesn't matter. This will actually pop up once we get it installed. So let's run through the installer right fast and show you guys how to get through it. And you guys should be able to recognize this installer. It's the Calamars installer. It's very easy to use, very simple. So let's go down and run through it. But first thing you want to select is your language, hit next. It automatically picked up my location, so we get to go there. Keyboard, next, and then we can set up our disk. And it automatically selected our virtual or disk. We can erase the disk. We can set up swap if we need it. We can swap to file. We can set the file type, which is ext4. You can go in here and select better FS or F2FS or XFS if you want to. I'm gonna use that ext4. You can also encrypt the hard drive by putting a passphrase on it. We're not gonna do that. And then we have our bootloader location, so we get to go with that. Let's hit next, and then we set up our accounts. Let's go through and just create one for Josh, and then this is Manjaro 23.1, and it probably won't take that one, so we'll just do 231. And let's go down and create our password, so we can simply put something super strong in here, which it really doesn't matter as long as it matches. Then you can select login automatically without asking for the password. Recommend you don't. I say that in every video when I go through a distro review. I use the same password for the administrator account. We definitely want to do that, so let's select that. Hit next. Now, one cool thing about it, you can select your office suite. So instead of it automatically choosing it for you, you can specify what you want. So you can go with LibreOffice, no office suite, and then free office. I'll go with LibreOffice. I like LibreOffice. I've always liked LibreOffice, so let's just roll with that. And then we got our summary, and this is basically all the selections we made throughout the installer. And all we got to do is hit install, and this will go through and install it on our hard drive. And I'll be back when it finishes. One cool thing about the installer though as well, you can check out the logs, you know, as it's going through everything. That's one thing I've always seen in Manjaro that I liked. You can check out everything and just verify what's going on, or at least see what's going on with the system while it's getting installed. And so I'll be back. All right, so it looks like it's all done. All we have to do is click the button here that says restart now, and then go down and hit done. It'll restart the system, and we can boot into the newly installed system. So we'll do that now. I'll be back when it comes back up. All right, so we logged into our fresh install, and I've always said that Manjaro is the Arch Linux distro for people that want to save some time, especially if you use that minimal, because it don't come with all the software that this one actually comes with, the full comes with. And then you can build out the system from there. You already have a desktop environment and everything is working. You know what I'm saying? It's not that difficult to get Arch installed, like regular Arch, full-blown Arch installed, but this is just a quick way to get Arch installed for those people that want to try it out and are looking to switch over to Arch at some point in the future. I actually started out using Manjaro before I hopped into Arch. I actually started with, and then I jumped over to Manjaro because Terraghost got discontinued. Then Manjaro came out. I tried that one because I was just interested in Arch. It's like an awesome distro in my opinion, you know, once you get to know it, but I wanted to learn it. And so one of the best ways, like I stated, is using one of these Arch based Linux distros, because you'll start learning the package manager, you'll understand how it works. You have options to use the community repository, which is that Arch user repository with all the awesome software that is there, you know what I'm saying? And then plus the, you know, main repository of Arch, which is essentially a copy of the packages that you have here. Now, like I stated before the install, it'll pop up with this startup page. You can turn it off if you want to. I'll turn it off, but documentation, support, all the same, you know, information that we saw in the first startup page during the live ISO. Only thing it doesn't have is that launch the installer button. So same exact information. If you want to get to any of this, the links will pop up there, and you can leave it on or you can turn it off. It's all up to you. And it'll do the same thing no matter if you have the KDE version or the known version. It'll pop up with that startup launcher, so you can get to all the information that you need in order to learn how to use the operating system. Very simple. I love XFCE, so I'm glad they have an updated version of that, and that's what prompted me to go on and do a quick look at Manjaro, this latest version of Manjaro with the latest version of XFCE. So let's just go through, check it out, check out some of the software. So you got your normal terminal, file manager right there. Let's see what the default web browser is for those that are interested in knowing before they install. The default is Firefox. I always recommend you guys check out Brave or Vivaldi. They're a little bit, in my opinion, better in the looks department when it comes to the design of the browser. I like Vivaldi, the looks of it, and it also values your privacy just like Firefox. And then Brave, of course, you know, is awesome as well. It got a lot of updates. That's a Chrome-based browser, which Vivaldi is as well. But I really like the design of those browsers, like the way it looks. You can make Firefox look just as good, but I just like those right out the box. They just look totally different, you know, especially Vivaldi. It looks totally different. I like the design of it. But anyway, enough about my preferences. Let's check out what's in this version, or at least see what version of Firefox we got. So let's check it out, 120.1. And actually the first thing we need to do, and let's open up the terminal, let's just verify the kernel version. So we can type uname and then -a, and it'll give us our kernel version. So it comes with 6.6 right out the box. And then we can run a update. I'm sure Yay is installed on here, which is the package manager for the AUR. Hopefully it's on here. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it's not. Okay, so we'll have to install Yay. So that's one thing you might want to do, so you can install those packages a little bit easier using the Yay command from the AUR. But let's just run sudo pacman -syu. Go on and update our system. Type in our sudo passwords. Press enter. It'll go through. And I forgot, you got to activate the AUR probably. I can't remember if you got to turn on that repository or not. It's been a while since I've looked at Manjaro just to see what all you have to do is for setting it up, and maybe that'll be my next video, what to do after getting Manjaro installed. And I'll show it on XFCE, and it's pretty much the same on GNOME KDE. Just open up the terminal and I'll walk you guys through how to set all that up. Now while this going through the updates, let's go down and hop over here and let's see what else we got in here. So mail reader, let's see it. Hopefully Thunderbird is on here. But it looks like it's what is it? Thunderbird. Yes, so Thunderbird is the default mail client, so that's good to see. We're gonna cancel this and then try to close it out if we can, and we can just close it like that. Yes, there we go. And then let's check out what else we got. And it's cool, they have our favorites there. That's one thing I like about XFCE. You can add your favorites, add other favorites there, or if you have your dot files, you can add those and they'll add all your favorites there if you use the XFCE. Accessories, I mean, it's just pretty much full-blown XFCE. You got a lot of options in here. Actually, let's go into the settings right fast so you guys can see. Let's go to our settings manager and let's check out the Manjaro settings manager. This is one cool thing I like about Manjaro. You have the option to mess around with the kernel. So if you want to run a different kernel, all you have to do is install that kernel. I'm sure you have to restore it. Some of them you don't have to restore it, but right now it's using that 6.7.4. But you can modify your kernel version right from here, and it's a cool little GUI that allows you to do that. And it looks like our updates are done. It didn't do many updates, so that's a good thing to see. So the ISO is updated. Oh, and this ISO came out, let's say about 4 days ago, so it shouldn't have many updates other than like some base updates you'll see, because with Manjaro, like I said, it follows that rolling release model, and so as updates go to the packages, the updates will get pushed out to the system, and it's a whole lot faster. And it's just all depending on how often you install updates. I do it once a week. I just wait, let them build up, do it once a week, and go through all my installs from there. And then you also have options under this Manjaro settings. You got your locale settings, language packages, user accounts if you need to, time, date, keyboard settings, hardware configuration. Let's go down and quit that. But let's see, I wanted to go into our other settings. So they're up here. So settings manager. There we go. So this is our full-blown settings manager, and we can make all our changes here, you know, to the desktop, the appearance, clipboard management, panels, window manager, XFCE terminal settings. You can get to that there. Color profiles if you want to play around with that. Add and remove software, firewall configuration, light DM, and a lot of these options here or under settings. So you can go in here and you can see a lot of these links to all of this right up in here. So you got your window manager tweaks. That's one thing I was excited to see. You see that? I mean, it's been around for a while. Let's click on the add remove software, and it should bring up this installer right here, and it should bring up PayMac, and I believe that's what this is. I haven't used PayMac in a while because I just do everything from the command line, and yes, that's PayMac. So you can install all your packages from here. So if you don't like the command line, you want to use some form of a GUI base, then you can get things installed directly from here. You can also modify your repositories. You can add repositories in here. From what I remember, you got your install packages. If you want to look at that, you can also run your updates from here. So the system is fully up to date. Let's go back here, and then let's go into preferences right fast, and it requires our sudo passwords. And one thing I like to do is when we're doing updates, I like to up this to about 10. That way it'll go through and download multiple packages at one time. That's what that parallel is. You can go into your Pacman config and change that. I think I did a video showing people how to do that. You can automatically download updates if you want to, upgrade the system and check down. You can turn that on if you want to. This is the update check frequency. So every 6 hours, it'll check for updates. And you can obviously go in there and update, change that if you want to. Like I said, I always do mine like once a week. So you can make those changes there for you. And you can turn off check for updates. If you're one of those people like me that have been using it for a while, I like to check every week, basically update every week, upgrade every week, all my packages on my system. So that's just me. The repositories are worldwide. You can narrow it down so you can get the packages a little bit quicker. So you can pick up, let's say, United States, refresh your mirrors if you need to, and you'll be pulling from a local repository. So that's one cool thing you want to do. And then you can also cache a certain amount of versions of a package. So, and then you can also auto clean if you need to. Let's see, under advanced, check this space. So you can turn some of this on, remove unrequired dependencies, do not check for updates when installing. Yeah. And then enable downgrades if you want to. You can turn that on. Third party, you can enable the AUR support. And then you can also turn on FLAC packs as well as snap support. Let's turn on the AUR and just see what it does. So let's see, keep build package. That's if you want to. Check for updates. You can turn that on so it'll check for those updates. Check for development packages updates. And then this is where it'll build. It'll build in temp. And you can adjust that if you want to. I'm gonna just leave it on void temp. I just want to show you guys you can adjust that if you want to. They'll build the packages no matter where you decide to set it up, but I recommend you leave the defaults. And then let's see, will it show the AUR repository here? Maybe have to close it and open it back up. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I always do this stuff from the command line, so you can enable the repository. May have to restart, I don't know, maybe. But anyway, you can turn on AUR support from there. You may have to install Yay from source. I'm sure you do. I'll go through that in a later video. And that's pretty much all I want to show you guys here. That's just the settings. We got our updates. Showed you guys the kernel. And one thing we can run is htop. So we can just check out the system so you guys can see how it's running idle, like nothing is being done. It's about 740 megabytes. And yeah, I just had this thing installed. I haven't really opened up much software. It has 8 gigabits of memory. It only created 512 megabytes of swap, which you really don't need swap for this system, but I just did it anyway just to do. But that's that swap file we specify. Let's go down and quit, and let's see if NeoFetch is here. And it probably isn't, so let's type sudo pacman-s and then NeoFetch. It should be in the main repository. I can't remember if it is or not. Yeah, it is. So just press Y. So let's run NeoFetch and just see what themes are being used. I mean, we could look for it, you know. I just kind of want to check it out. So Matcha C, never heard of this one. And Edwada icon, so which I've used that in the past, and Edwada as well. Terminal XFCE 4 terminal. The desktop environment is XFCE 4.18. The resolution right there, the shell. Let's see, bash. And that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. It's using Monitor 12 for the font, and that's the terminal font. So, and one cool thing about it, you can go through, modify your terminal to match this, you know what I'm saying, just by looking at this. That's why I always like to pull this up so you guys can at least see something. All right, so that brings us to the end of our quick look of Manjaro 23.1 Vulcan. And from its updated kernel to the latest desktop environments, it's clear that this release aims to provide a robust and user-friendly experience. So whether you're a long-time Manjaro user or considering a switch, this version is definitely worth checking out. And so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos that pop up on the channel. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and a productive rest of the week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.